Good morning, one and all in one, and welcome to FPL Mate. It is a deadline day for Game Week 32, and I can't lie to you guys, I definitely may have overslept on my alarm this morning and have only been awake for about half an hour. So hopefully it doesn't show too much. I was up late playing Xbox last night. I can't lie, guys. What can you do? What can you do? It's one of those things. It's a Saturday morning. I hate mornings. Newsflash. Not a morning person. And it is a morning. But regardless of our sleeping patterns, no matter where you are in the world, some of you guys may be up very, very early indeed. Some of you guys might be enjoying an evening deadline today. But yeah, I'm here. What was I playing? I was playing GTA 5 for a bit, and then I was playing Medieval Dynasty, which is an RPG game, which is good fun as well. But we got to talk about some bench related stuff today. It is kind of a benchy kind of day. I can't lie. Never have we needed a bench list as much as today. We're serious. We're serious on the bench list. I feel like a lot of you guys have got bench dilemmas. I know I do. I mean, I'm not even locked in on my bench myself. Like, genuinely, there are so many different players I could play. And I think the problem is, some of you guys might be on bench boost, and that just resolves everything. But if you're planning a bench boost for next week, for game week 33, that probably means that you have a very strong bench right now. And yeah, I'm no different. I do have a strong bench. And we have a lot of rotation worries this week, and it's kind of a game of guessing who we should play. So yeah, let's figure out what's going on there. Talking Drums 2.0 says, did you lose viewers after your April Fool's prank? So there, yeah, April Fool's prank was game week 30. Game week 31 actually had one of the best weeks for views the whole season. So if anything, I gained viewers for the April Fool's prank. So yeah. Yes, screw everyone who thought the April Fool's prank was a bad idea for the channel. It turns out it was a good one. It turns out people actually enjoyed it, which I'm very glad about. So thank you. Yeah, I think game week 32. Maybe less transfers being made in general this week. It seems more about benching and chips, not so much a transfer week. But maybe you guys are making transfers as well. We'll have a chat to you guys about all of that stuff as well. So where do we start? Should we start with my team? Probably a good place to start. All right, come on, let's have a look at where I'm at right now. So I currently have Saka on the bench and Rashford playing. If I was a safer man, I think I would just play Saliba ahead of Rashford and put both Rashford and Saka on the bench and go with a 4-3-3 formation, which feels a little wrong in a double game week, but I just think that Saliba is probably your safe bet this week. The only thing is, because I'm doubled up with Raya and Saliba, do I really want to do that when I could take a risk on some nice Rashford points, even from the bench? Rashford against Southampton, you surely think is capable of doing some damage. We've seen Rashford come off the bench time and time again and really produce some damage. So I do think Rashford actually kind of a player perhaps suited to a bench appearance, particularly if, Aston Villa are already winning. Rashford can play on the counter-attack there and could get some points that way. So I'm not totally against playing Rashford, even though I don't think Rashford is actually going to start. I don't think he's going to start, to be honest, guys. I don't think Saka's going to start either. Yeah, if I had to guess, neither of these players would start. Of course, you never know. You never know. There's always the possibility. There's always that chance. But I'm not super confident on that one. I don't know about you guys. Is anyone seriously? Players like Rodgers as well. Same situation. I think Rashford, Rodgers, serious rotation risk. I'm struggling to split the two as well. I know people will say Rodgers will start because he starts every game, but it just seems like this is the game. This is the game to rest some players, and that is quite concerning. It really is quite concerning. So yeah, I suppose we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I think Savinho is safe. So I think I'm going to start Savinho. I think he's probably the other question mark. Some people may be thinking about playing Konsa. There's a good chance Konsa gets a clean sheet this week if he starts. But again, not super confident on his numbers. But yeah, that's where we're at right now. Let's have a look. Rob T has actually updated this morning his odds. So I want to have a look at this. And hopefully that's going to help us with those final benching decisions. I haven't actually seen this yet, but we've got the projected goals and clean sheet odds right here in front of us today, guys. And we can see that Chelsea against Ipswich actually have the best clean sheet odds of the week. 2.7. Sorry, 42. No, that's their goals. Okay, Chelsea have the best goals projection. I am tired, aren't I? Best goals projection, 2.7. Liverpool, 2.5. Brighton, 2.45. We actually see Man City at 2.1 here as well, which is just behind Aston Villa at 2.15. So yeah, interestingly, Man City, pretty high goal projections here, playing at home against Crystal Palace. So that does definitely lend itself to the likes of Marmoush and Savinho this week, who could do some damage. After Aston Villa and Man City, we see Newcastle above 2 as well, and everyone else is below 2 for projected goals, including Newcastle on Wednesday, Arsenal today, and well, the other major teams are, I guess, Bournemouth, if you guys have Bournemouth players. In terms of clean sheet odds, Brighton against Leicester. Anyone who is against Leicester is going to have good clean sheet odds. Anyone. It seems like Leicester is the best clean sheet opportunity for anyone right now. They just don't score goals. What is it? 2 goals in 12 games now? It's something ridiculous like that. I can't believe a team is scoring quite this few goals. But there we are. That's where we're at with Leicester right now. Target them every week for clean sheets seems to be the strategy. Second best clean sheet odds are actually Liverpool at home against West Ham, which I thought was quite interesting. Chelsea against Ipswich, third. And we have actually Forest against Everton, 38%. And Arsenal are now joint with Aston Villa. So even Stevens there with Arsenal and Aston Villa on their clean sheet odds. So Arsenal has dropped a little bit on their clean sheet odds. Newcastle, 34% chance against Man United, 32% chance against Crystal Palace. That's pretty good in combination. That's pretty decent. Crystal Palace very low. Aston Villa a little bit lower than we expected. Some people are saying. It isn't super high, is it? We got a super chat here from Mark O'Reilly, a very generous $5. Thank you very much, Mark. Hey Dan, headache over my team this week. Any suggestions? Rayan Milenkovic, Munoz, Konsa, Murphy, Palmer, Salazar, Evan Nilsson, Marmoush, Isak, Saka, and Saliba on the bench. It looks like you've got things pretty much correct there. The only thing I would maybe change is Saliba for Konsa, but given that you have Raya in goal, I think you're good to go. Yeah, that team looks pretty strong. There's not really too many headaches there. I think you should be in a good position going into this game week. So yeah, stick with what you've got. Things are looking pretty good. Pretty good. So there you go. Right. That's all of our clean sheet odds and kind of goal projections for this week. I don't really know what else to suggest. Anything else interesting here? Probably not. I guess if you're Arsenal versus Aston Villa, do we lean Aston Villa defense, or maybe lean Aston Villa goalkeeper because of the save points? You imagine that Martinez would face more shots than Raya. That generally seems to be the case. So maybe Martinez goes above Raya in the pecking order. But I would still think I would prefer an Arsenal defender to an Aston Villa defender, because Arsenal defenders are more likely to get bonus points, I would say. I do think that, and maybe Raya is more likely for bonus points than Martinez as well, because Aston Villa should score a couple of goals in this game, where you can imagine Arsenal-Brentford is a 1-0. That seems to be the general trend of Arsenal. Nelson here says, thoughts on Asensio to bring in for Savinho? Definitely not. No, And from -4, even more definitely not. Now, Savinho is a good pick. You know, he was rested last week. That is a really positive sign for his minutes moving forward. And he has a double game week next week. Asensio is more rotation risk than Savinho, in my opinion. More rotation risk. Maybe not so much this. You know what? No, that's a lie. I think Savinho is better for minutes this week than Asensio is. So if it's minutes you're after, Savinho's your guy. Yeah, there's just no way I would be making that move. There's no way. Not a chance. Let's go to our bench list next. So, bench list. Load it up there. So I'm going to throw Martinez above Raya now. Like so. Gordon on the list so far. I thought that would be a good place to start, and then we'll play over under Gordon. So let me know, guys, in the chat, which players you have and are considering benching this week. So I'm going to throw in a couple of names that may help you guys out a little bit here. So I'm going to put Savinho there. I'm going to put Saliba there. I'm for you guys, just for the safety, I'm going to actually put Saliba over the likes of Rashford, and we'll put Rodgers. Maybe Rodgers here above Saliba. We'll put Saka. I'm actually going to put Saka below Rashford this week. Foden. Yeah, Foden is a tricky one. I think Foden's going pretty low for me. Concert. I would maybe put Concert. I don't know. I feel like backing the attackers here. Gavardio would go a little higher than some of these guys, I think. Difficulty is with Concert is the clean sheet odds are a little bit lower than Arsenal and Aston Villa, but not by a huge amount. So therefore, Gavardio naturally falls here, right? Particularly if he's playing centre-back and is less threatening in attack. Rob, the editor, says, good luck, Dan, with this. Yeah, this is going to be a brutal one. This is going to be a brutal bench list today. All I can give is my opinion, but it is a tough one for everyone, including me. Why Saka under Rodgers? I think Rodgers has maybe better minutes projections than Saka, and Rodgers has been in such good form, really incredible form, and also is playing against Southampton, so really nice. What do you think about Glasner assistant manager? He is the assistant manager I would be going for if I had him. If I had that option this week. Well, Konate is an interesting one because he did have a rough game, but Liverpool have great clean sheet odds, so I'm going to put Konate here. I'm actually going to put. I was going to put Bradley here. Let's put Bradley next to Konate. We'll lump them in together. Milenkovic. Yeah, perhaps you put Milenkovic in this similar kind of area. And maybe put him alongside. Let's just change this. And put him alongside. Who's the. That doesn't really fit. And Will. There we go. You guys can get the gist with that one. Edison is a goalkeeper. So Edison's going to drop below Martinez and Raya. Verbruggen has got to be high, right? He's got to be high. The number one non-double game week goalkeeper. Kirkes would go low. Dina would go low. Because of minutes risk. Huge minutes risk. Marmoush is not going on the bench list. I think he is just a definite play. Oh, a few people say Marmoush. All right, okay. If it is a genuine consideration for you guys, then he is going to go right to the top of this list, even above Gordon. Nico Williams is on there already. Alanga, tough one, right? Yeah, maybe Alanga is one of those players you just kind of take a punt on and hope for the best. I think you just play along Alanga and yeah, If he's unavailable, he's unavailable. And that's right. And that's it. Asensio, a lot of Asensio owners today. Marlon is a definite play, by the way. If you've bought Marlon, then you've bought him for this week. So you should be playing him. He's not going on the bench list. I have a feeling the Marlon shout is more people kind of saying, oh, validate my Marlon pick by putting him at the top. Validate me. I'm not going to validate you. I'm sorry, guys. He's an obvious play. Asensio, let's see. He's got to go high. He's going to go high. I would put him up here. He has an M in his name in FPL, doesn't he? He's going to go high. I think double game week players, generally, you play them all. So maybe in that sense, I'll just put them all at the top. All double game week players go to the top of this list. You play them all. Gvardiol so low, really? Yeah. Who would you put him above on this list? I mean, he'll get higher as we add more, like, bad picks lower down. But yeah, who are you seriously playing Gvardiol over on this list? There's an argument to say play him above, like, a Foden or a Saka just for minutes, but what's the upside isn't super high this week, I don't think. Yash says, based on this, my bench is Saka, Saliba, Gvardiol. What can I say, Yash? Like, us Bench Boost 33 guys are going to have a very strong bench this week. Very strong. You play Gvardiol over Nico Williams? Williams against Everton? Williams, who is getting up the pitch, attacking, getting assists, playing against a really bad Everton attack. A Forest team, by the way, who have kept far more clean sheets than Man City this season. I mean, if you want to do that, fine, but I don't think I would. All right, Evan Nielsen seems to be the popular player here. I would play Evan Nielsen, though, generally. You go above Savinho. Would he go above Gordon? I think he would, to be fair. I'm going to put him pretty high. Avisek says, yeah, I have Mbermo, Gabriel, and Nico in that order on the bench. It's crazy, but it's a good thing. You've got to think of it as a positive thing. If you've got a strong bench, if you're looking at your bench and thinking, oh man, those are some strong players on the bench. That's a good sign for next week. That's a really good sign for next week. That's what you want. The worst scenario is if you're in game week 32, you've got 1 week until you're going to play your bench boost, and you look at your bench and you think, yeah, this is pretty weak. That would be a very bad sign. A very bad sign indeed. Right. Bruno and Mbermo seem to be the next players to go on here. So Bruno Fernandes, I think you play pretty much every single game week. Do we slip Gordon above him for the double game week? Maybe, but probably not. So I'm going to put Bruno Fernandes just below Evan Nielsen. And then Mbermo, who's playing away against Arsenal. Do you play him just for the minutes? We don't expect too much from him, but you never know when Arsenal are going to give away another dodgy penalty. So he'd probably go below Savinho. Below some of these defenders, maybe? I think you play him above the likes of Rodgers, Rashford, Saka for those minutes. So that would put him around the Liverpool and Forest defender kind of area. So let's put him in between them. It doesn't feel right, does it? But that's what we're going to do. Brian Mbermo is going to go there. Some people are saying Kivior as well. Let's put him next to Saliba. So Bruno is on there now. Palmer? No, I don't think Palmer needs to go on here. You play Palmer. Well, actually, I have seen some people benching Palmer or asking about benching Palmer this week. Well, he's a play. He is without doubt a play. I put him top only after the double game week players. You play them. Light work. Timber, I don't think I would put with Saliba and Kivior, just because I don't think Timber's going to start. So Timber would go pretty low for me. All right, who's the next popular pick? Marino seems to be the guy. Timber and Marino. So I think Timber goes at the bottom. I think we're looking at 1 pointer here. To be fair, maybe above Dean. Above Dean, I don't think it is. I don't think I'd play Timber. I'd throw him last on the bench. And not even one. You're going to have other strong players. I wouldn't worry with Timber. He's going to be a headache player. Asensio really above Evan Nilsson. Yeah. Yeah. The Fat Scottish Gaming Panda says, thoughts on Isak triple captain? It's a really straightforward and simple one. If you want to go for a safe triple captain this season, it is Isak this week. But there is a good opportunity, or a good potential but risky opportunity for Marmoush game week 36. We don't know for sure if it's going to happen or not. But it is one to think about. Marlon is not going on the bench list, but he is a good pick for this week. He'll be one of my top picks for this week. I really like Marlon, but he's not going on the bench list because if you've just bought Marlon, you are not thinking about benching him. So he does not belong on the bench list. Is there anyone here who has bought Marlon who is genuinely thinking about benching him? Let me know in the chat. If you can give me a genuine reason to bench Marlon, for Marlon owners who have just bought him, if you're genuinely thinking about benching him, tell me why you're considering that. Because that is the only way you can convince me to put him on the bench list. But we did say we'd put Marino on here. And I think his minutes projections is good. I think the problem, I think Marino's probably like 70-75% chance of playing. My issue is I think he's far more likely to play in midfield than as a forward if he does play. And that's not super useful. Why is Timber so low? Because he is probably not going to start. And I think that's one reason why people are looking at this list thinking it's a little crazy. It's because a lot of these players are ordered this way because of the minutes and the benching projections, which I think a lot of people don't necessarily think about, particularly if they don't watch other competitions and are less aware of other competitions. But Marino's going to go reasonably low for me. I would maybe throw him in. Maybe that's too high, isn't it? Maybe around Mbermo. I mean, he's got better minutes projections than Rodgers, Rashford, Saka, Foden. So he maybe goes above them just on that alone. Yash says, leader has assistant manager. How? Triple captain now or Marmoush in game week 36? If you're chasing, I would take a risk and try Marmoush in 36 if you're chasing. Surely Gavardio is ahead of Konsa. Dan, Konsa not likely to start, is he? Is a good point. I know that is a fair point, Stephen. The problem is, like, I'm struggling with Konsa because a lot of predictors are thinking Konsa will start, and a lot of them are saying he won't start. So it's so hard to say. So I've ordered this based Konsa and Gavardio based on clean sheet odds. But I guess if we throw in the possibility of 1 pointers, do the better clean sheet odds for Aston Villa outweigh the minutes of Gavardio? Perhaps not. So you know what? I'm going to take your advice and I'm going to throw Gavardio ahead of Konsa. We'll swap their position. And people are complaining about Gavardio being low as well. Actually, why do I care if people are complaining? This is a bench list. This is not an appease the masses list. I don't care if your player is low down on this tier list. It's what matters is who to bench. And, like, a lot of players are minutes risk. That is just, this week is going to be painful. And some players we will be able to predict their minutes. Other players we will have surprises. Today is going to be, and tomorrow and Monday and maybe even Wednesday, it's going to be a nightmare, guys. It is going to be a nightmare. Players will be benched. There is going to be so much pain this week. You're going to have points on your bench. You're going to have players rested and rotated that you didn't expect. That's the name of the game right now. It's the name of the game. Right. What have we got here? Hold on. FPL Victoria's Secret. Start Saka or Foden or bench. But I have got the bench list right. FPL Victoria's Secret. You should know. You should know more than anyone. How long have you been around the block on the FPL Mate YouTube channel? The bench list is on the screen. Saka, start Saka or Foden. Saka is above Foden on this list. Bench both and start Gvardiol. I mean, I get why you're asking. Because all three players, Saka, Foden and Gvardiol, are literally next to each other on the bench list. So it's not an easy decision. But honestly, mate, it's a crappy decision. Everyone's got crappy decisions this week. And there's going to be tight calls and things will go wrong for a lot of people and they'll go right for a lot of other people. You don't know what camp you're going to be in until the game week is underway. I wish I could say for sure who would score more points out of Saka, Foden and Gvardiol. Saka could get a 1-pointer. Foden could get a 0-pointer. Gvardiol could get a 12-pointer because he's got a clean sheet and scored a header or got an assist or something. But equally, Gvardiol could lose his clean sheet. That's probably the more likely scenario. Gets a 2-pointer, maybe even a 1-pointer if Crystal Palace score 2 goals. Saka could come off the bench and score. Foden could end up starting the game. All of these things are realistic possibilities, and it is impossible to predict these with certainty. We can kind of try and weigh up what's more likely to happen, but with Saka, Foden, and Gvardiol, it's so tight. You just kind of pick your poison. I wish I could do it for you, and the best I can do is create the bench list and say, start Saka, bench Foden and Gvardiol. That's probably what I would do. But would I be confident in that decision? No. There are very few decisions on this list I would be confident in. Very, very few. The only real bench decisions this week that I think anyone could be confident in are the kind of big jumps between the top players and the bottom players. Playing a Palmer over a Timber is easy. Playing Marmoush instead of Konsa is easy. Playing Asensio over maybe a Gvardiol is easy. But when we're looking at these players in the middle, it is going to be a nightmare. It's going to be a nightmare for everyone. I'm so sorry, but we're going to have to go through this together. And we're going to need, on Sunday tomorrow, we're going to need a nice group therapy stream. So, yeah, feel free to join me for the group therapy stream on Sunday after the final game, because we're going to be in pain and we're gonna have to go through it together. We are going to have to go through it together. Some people will have less pain than others. That's the game. But anyway, here for FPL says, pulling my hair out again, mate. Have 3 free transfers. Wait, I swear I answered this you yesterday on the video. Is the answer not still the same? Let's see. This is difficult to read out. There's a lot to read out here, guys. So apologies to everyone else. Gabriel, Foden to Saliba and Asensio, and bench Emi, Gvardiol, Saka, and Asensio. I wouldn't bench Asensio this week. No way. I wouldn't bench Asensio. Oh, well, no, that would be a bench boost of Martinez, Gvardiol, Saka, and Asensio. Not massively keen on that bench boost. The other bench boost would be, let's just read it. Martinez, Isak, Bradley, and Williams. Oh, the bench boost next week is better. Yeah. Martinez on a double game week. Isak against Aston Villa. Bradley against Leicester. And Williams, even though it's against Spurs, is better than Martinez single game week. Gvardiol against Crystal Palace. Saka rotation risk. And Asensio. Yeah. Bench boost next week. There you go. If those are the two options, the second one I prefer. Even with the transfer, you're gonna have to spend the transfers regardless, right? Because of the Gabriel issue. Right, anyone missing from the bench list, guys? Any major players here? What few people saying Watkins? So I think I would play Watkins. There is some rotation risk, it has to be said. But I think you do play him. Marlon's going on the bench. People still want Marlon on the bench list. Why? Why do you want Marlon on the bench list? Why is Kirkes below Gavardio? When was the last time you saw Bournemouth keep a clean sheet? Thoughts on Rashford's minutes? Poor. Rashford's minutes looking poor. You're welcome here for FPL. Yeah, you've rephrased the question and it does make more sense now. So thank you for that. That helps me to help you. Munoz, all double game week players are at the top. All of them. You play all of them. It sucks seeing Gavardio, Timber, and Consa basically next to each other at the bottom. It's a tough week, man. It's a tough week. What are you gonna do? It's the nature of the beast. The nature of the beast. Feels weird having triple Arsenal on the bench. Triple Arsenal on the bench seems extreme. I think, okay, so I'm guessing if you are triple Arsenal on the bench, that means you have Raya and Martinez. Would I be accurate in that? If that's the case... Have I frozen? No, I haven't frozen. If that's the case, then maybe you hedge and play one Arsenal defender. I think I would like to have one Arsenal defender or defensive asset playing, which maybe changes things. Matt says I missed the super chat. I apologize, Matt. Let's find it. Coffin put a super sticker in, but no chat there. Victoria's Secret says, seen the bench list, but lots of ifs and buts. There's a million ifs and buts, mate. I wish I could resolve that. I wish I could wave a magic wand and help you guys all with your bench decisions, but unfortunately, it's not that easy. Right, apologies, Matt. Concert over Saliba? No. Got Raya? Still probably no. Play Rodgers or Saka? I think all of those questions, Matt, are answered on the bench list. I think constant minutes risk means you just play Saliba ahead of him. Even if it means doubling up on the Arsenal defence. As for Rodgers versus Saka, I think Rodgers' minutes are looking slightly better than Saka's right now. There's not a huge amount in it. So I'm going to stick with my guns on what the bench list says on this one. Craig says, is this not the perfect week to get Rashford? Nah, because he just played 80 minutes in the Champions League. I'm thinking if he doesn't start, I don't see him getting subbed on against Southampton. I do. I think Aston Villa's squad is so deep. They're in so many competitions. They want to keep the minutes up of all of their players. I think that Rashford does get subbed on against Southampton. But I don't think he gets subbed. If he gets subbed on, we could be looking at a 10-pointer. Can he do damage in 10 points? I think the answer is yes, but it is risky. Why Liverpool defenders better than Arsenal this week? Liverpool have better clean sheet odds this week, and I think particularly someone like Bradley has nice attacking potential as well. It's a weird time in FPL. Gaming Gal, I'm not triple captaining Isak. No, because I don't have my triple captainship. I've already used it. And even if I did have it, I think I'd probably wait till game week 36 and try something crazy. But Isak this week for triple captain is the sensible option. Mancy says, might have to bring out the flowchart again for the people with triple Arsenal. What happens on the flowchart? What happens on the flowchart for people with triple Arsenal? I think a lot of people have triple Arsenal, but they have a lot of Arsenal players on the bench this week. I've got double Arsenal on the bench. Bulk the Villain says, hi, Dan. We can't predict the Villa lineups at the moment. Through that. Yeah, like, Aston Villa fans are struggling. They really, even when Aston Villa fans are struggling, you know you're in trouble. Like, I think the front line, I mean, I've mentioned this in a couple of videos already, but I think the front line will look something like this. So, Watkins up front, Marlon on the right, Asensio in the middle, and then on the left, Ramsey seems to be the most likely answer, but it could just as easily be Rodgers, Rashford. I mean, Rashford maybe going striker if Watkins doesn't start. It's tough out there, man. It's tough out there. If the fans of the club itself, and you know, journalists and what have you can't agree, then you're in trouble. Then you are in trouble. It's a good problem to have, for sure. And particularly when Aston Villa are in so many competitions. So many competitions. They need this squad depth, and they've got it, which is great. Do I think Isak starts both games? Yes, I do. Savio or Asensio? I play Asensio over Savinho this week. Ollie with a super chat here says, hi Dan, how do you feel about a Kivior punt for Gameweek 33 replacing Livramento? I think it's a little risky, Ollie, to be honest, mate. I think it's a little risky. I think right now Kivior is good, but if you know, in a week's time we see Calafiori is back in training, or you know, back potentially getting minutes, or we see a fully fit Ben White and Urian Timber, then I do wonder if Kivior is guaranteed 2 games. I think Kivior is good for this game week. I think there is some. I think he plays at least one of 2 of the double game week 33. But right now, I think it is a little risky. A little risky. So I don't want to lock that one in. Maybe a conversation to be had next week. Right now, I'm not super keen on it. Mark says, thoughts on Mateta captain? I mean, I think Isak just is the better captain. I think even if you are captaining Mateta, you probably do think that Isak is the better captain, but you're just trying to do something different. My question would be, is this the moment to do something different? There's a lot of pain to be had this week. Do you want to add more pain to that? I think there are going to be other weeks where captaincy is a little tighter. I don't think this week is one of those tight captain weeks particularly. So although Mateta is a great player to have, I don't think he is closely competing with Isak as a captain option. Should we have a look at a poll? Should we get you guys' opinion? Let's do captaincy. Who is your game week 32 captain? I'm going to put Isak, Mateta. We're going to put Murphy. I'll put other. I think Isak, Mateta, Murphy are going to dominate this one. I can't really see any other options, but keen to see what you guys are doing. So poll is in there. It feels weird benching Saka, Timber over Savinho and Cavadio. What a time for FPL. I know, man. But Saka and Timber probably don't start. Imagine Saka starts, by the way. The pain. The pain. A lot of people predicting him to be benched, myself included. Like, the priority has got to be the Real Madrid second leg for Saka coming back from injury. It's got to be. Yorit says, like the stream, folks. Yes, please like the stream. It really does help a whole bunch. Is Alanga playing? I don't know. And we're not going to get a leak there either. I think it is maybe a little tight. It's risky, Alanga. But you would think with Alanga, he's either injured or he's fit, right? It's one or the other. Sell Salah for Palmer? Nah, I don't think so. Big issue who to pick between Murphy and Barnes? Murphy, man. Mark says, did you watch the Arsenal Real game? Hell yeah, I watched it, and I had a great time as well. Any City leaks? There is a chance we get a City leak before deadline, yeah. And if Savinho is benched, I think that maybe changes my lineup a little bit, but I don't know. Mikolai says, why Rodgers over Gvardiol? 90 minutes versus max 30, in my opinion. I mean, listen, like, all I can give is my opinion and what I would do. I totally agree with you guys that, you know, there's so much debate to be had this week. There's no straightforward answers. And if you feel slightly differently, then you should absolutely do slightly differently. However, I think when you weigh up Gvardiol clean sheet potentials and take that against, you know, Gvardiol starts, he maybe has, what, 35% chance of a clean sheet? And that's a 6-pointer. We have Rodgers, maybe a 20, 30% chance of a start, perhaps. But if he does start, I would say that his attacking chance of a attacking return is a little higher. And then when you add your bonus point potential as well, it goes even higher as well. So I think it's worth taking the risk on Rodgers over someone like Gvardiol. But some people might say, yeah, maybe Rodgers has a higher ceiling, but he has a lower floor. And I definitely agree with that. And in which case you would play Gvardiol. But that's just down to opinion, right? Marcus says, about Gordon, keep or sell for Murphy or Asensio. If you have a free transfer and you know you're not planning on using it anywhere else, then I would consider selling Gordon for Murphy. Or Asensio, or indeed Asensio. But probably Murphy for the double game week. However, if you're looking at your transfers, you're thinking, oh, I might need to make a transfer next week. I'm looking forward to the doubles and blanks later in the season. I think I might need a few transfers there. I think I might save them. Then that's. I think it's fine to save as well. I think if it was me, I would probably keep Gordon, but I would be living in fear for this week, having kept Gordon. Warwick says, start 2. Marlon, Milenkovic, Gvardiol, or Semenyo. Start 2. You start Marlon, 100%. And then you probably start Milenkovic. Yeah, Marlon and Milenkovic, I would start. Peta, thank you for the super sticker. No chat there, though. I will keep an eye out for you in the chat. Dylan says, hey, Dan, chasing 100 points. Is it crazy to sub Salah for Eza this week? You play Eza. You'll 100% play Eza. I don't think you bench Salah, though. Surely there is another player to bench whose name is not Mo Salah. I mean, if you've got a Saka or a Rodgers or a Savinho or a... Who else is a popular pick? A Semenyo or a Cliver or a Wood or an Alanga or a... I mean, I feel like I could go on. You'll bench all of those players before you bench Salah. So no, I would not bench Salah at all. What to do with Rashford? You keep him. You play him if you're feeling risky. You don't play him if you're not feeling risky. Bring in Henderson for Areola. Could do. Could do. You meant sell Salah. Oh, okay. Did I misread that? Apologies if so. I don't. I don't think I would do that. Nah, because next week you've got Leicester for Salah, and I would not want to go into Gameweek 33 without Salah against Leicester. That seems too crazy. That's too out there. A little crazy. Main man Dan says, Dan, my main man. Should I start Martinez or Raya? I put Martinez above Raya in the bench list. So I play Saliba or Raya or both. Is Arsenal defence necessary? I would like to have some Arsenal defensive cover, personally, but I don't think it's essential. It's just about, it's like a risk management, right? Having one Arsenal defender is probably a smart move, but if you've got a strong other defenses or you want to take some risks, then I think that's also fine. Nicole says, hi Dan, 53 points in Game Week 31. Sticking to the plan of banking free transfers until Game Week 33. I have 3 free transfers to prepare for Game Week 33 and Game Week 34. Isaac is fit, so triple captain active. Good luck, Dan. And good luck to you as well, Nikhail. Iwakura says, play 2, Marino, Saka, Rogers, Gavardo, Consa. I would play... Would I play Marino for the minutes? It's a world of pain for there, Iwakura. It is a world of pain coming for you. I think I would go for Rogers and should we say should we say I'm not sure I'm happy with Marino on the bench list. I'm not sure I'm happy with this position there. It doesn't feel right. I'm dropping him down lower. I'm dropping him below Rogers at least, surely. This would suggest you still play Rogers and Marino, don't get me wrong, but yeah, I think I had him maybe too high. Now I'm deep in it. So, okay. Yeah, Rogers and Marino. There is a chance that every one of those players blanks, to be honest, and you might be talking about 1-point decisions here. Rogers versus Strand Larson. I think you play Strand Larson ahead of Rogers. I think, to be fair, a lot of you guys are asking questions. We've got Sanchez or Raya. Oh, Sanchez is interesting. I think we could maybe throw Sanchez here. Yeah, let's put Sanchez there. I haven't got any early team news on Savinho, unfortunately, right now. But I will keep an eye out on it for the remainder of the deadline. Let's see, team leagues. Okay. No, we've got nothing. No, nothing in terms of leaks. Right, what else we got here? Toby says, should I transfer out Mitoma, bench boost active? Oh, that's so tough. It's about whether you want to take a risk on Mitoma or not. If you don't want to take a risk, sell him. If you're happy to take a risk, then... Oh, I don't think I'd take a -4. I mean, you could just cancel the bench boost if you wanted to. If the bench boost doesn't work, you don't have to force it. You could just say, okay, it's not working. Let's just go again a different week. Depending on the rest of your bench. Particularly if your other bench players are like, I don't know, maybe Conser. I don't know who else. If you got like a Conser, maybe with a Bruggen and a, I don't know, Saka or someone. Maybe you're starting Saka. I think I'll start to question the bench boost. Maybe save it for another week. -4 Gabriel to Saliba. Surely you've got something on your bench. Oh, wow. The show team gang are really here, right? They're really here. The thing is, as soon as all people want to know today is the bench questions. It's just bench questions, bench questions, bench questions. So if I take this off the screen, we're in trouble. You're welcome, Toby. You're welcome, mate. Joao Pedro, you play this week, by the way. I know some people have asked about Joao Pedro. You play him, I think. Elanga or Saka? I've got Elanga currently above Saka. I think with Elanga, if he starts, he starts. If he doesn't, he doesn't. I think he is one of those players less likely to get 1-pointers. It's only 7% chance of Saka starting. It's very specific. Hi, Dan. Just woke up. What happened to Foden? I don't think he's going to start. We haven't got any news, though. I mean, we could, to be fair, we've got 8 minutes till deadline. We could get news that Foden starts. Possibly. Possibly. A lot of people are asking bench-related questions. Check out the bench list in front of you guys. It's hopefully going to help you out a lot with those benching decisions. A lot of the players you're kind of asking, should I bench this player or that player? They are on the bench list. If you haven't seen the bench list before, we do this every week. And what we do is we list a lot of those players that you guys are thinking about benching, maybe thinking about playing. You're not sure whether you want to play them or not. You're not sure what order your bench should be in. The bench list is here to help you guys out. We do it every single deadline. And yeah, if you basically say you've got 2 players, one of them you need to play, the other one you need to bench. Maybe you've got 3 players, you need to bench 2 of them. What you do is you look on the bench list and you look for the players that you have, and the players that are higher up on the bench list are the ones you play. So forget the list in general. Just look for your 3 specific players in this example. You've got 3 players. You need to play 2 of them, bench 1, for example. You find the 3 players on the list. So say you've got Evanilson, Rodgers, and Konsa. And what you can see is, okay, Evanilson and Rodgers are higher up on the list than Konsa. That means Dan would probably prefer to bench Konsa in that situation and play Evanilson and Rodgers. So that's how you kind of use the bench list. It's to help me to answer as many of you guys as physically possible without having to answer every bench question individually, because there's a lot of overlap with the decisions. So we can use a tool like this to really help out, just kind of trying to help out as many people as possible. And hopefully it's useful, particularly useful in weeks like this. Right, so Peta says, Pope or Mateta as captain? Pope! No, Mateta over Pope, man. I mean, that has surprised me. Few things surprise me when people are asking FPL related questions, but that one is a particularly surprising one. FPL Victoria's Secrets. I missed your super chat. Did I? Hang on, I'm catching up on super chats now. CFC Ethan says start 3, bench 3. Gvardiol, play. No, sorry, Marmoush, play. Gvardiol, Saliba, Rodgers, Saka, Konsa. They're all on the bench list, CFC Ethan. All of them. But I'm going to play 3. So it's Marmoush is high. Then the second highest is it Saliba? Rodgers and Saliba. So play Marmoush, Rodgers, Saliba, bench, Gvardiol, Saka, Konsa. According to my bench list. But listen, this is the week where things are going to go wrong. I am going to get things wrong. I cannot predict the future. It is so tight on the bench list this week that it is so difficult to be accurate. All I can do is give a best guess based on so many factors that my brain hurts from thinking about them all. But that's the game. FPL Victoria's Secret says FPL is 100% planning and 100% luck. Need the luck today. Yeah, for sure, man. We all do. Some of us are going to get it. Some of us aren't. Prepare for the worst this week. Eunice says, my bench, Pope, Saka, Konsa, Milenkovic. Should I bench boost? Ooh. Yeah, if Pope is on your bench, which, by the way, I don't think he should be. Yeah, that's looking like bench boost territory. The nightmare is if Saka and Konsa both don't start. And I think there's a good chance that both Saka and Konsa don't start. And that's your issue. But Pope, I think you play. I'm not sure who your current goalkeeper is, but Pope needs to go in ahead of them, I think. It's just a little risky with Saka and Konsa. But bench boost is definitely on the cards, Eunice. But you need to think about it like now. right now. Scott says, hi Dan, and Burmo to Sar or Eza? I would go Eza. Sorry, I'm going to rattle through these. Finna. I don't know. What is this? What is this currency? Icelandic krona? Is that a thing? I don't know. I'm not familiar. But it's gold, so that must be quite good. So thank you very much, Finna. Thanks again for all of your insights. Here is another well-deserved beer for you. Legend. Thank you very much, Finna. I might enjoy it in the English sunshine this afternoon. Thank you very much, mate. I appreciate that, and just happy to help. Happy to help, man. I hope that we have been able to help you guys out this week. Appreciate that, bro. Nidish says Livramento burns share, which whom to bring? Livramento. There you go. Right, show team gang's going crazy out here. Let's put my team on the screen. Mick says at work listening on headphones, your Pope reaction just made me jump out my skin. I'm so sorry. I do apologize. It made me jump out of my skin, to be honest. Right, let's give a little refresh of the page. So are we committing to Saka on the bench? Oh, I think I am. I'm committing to Saka on the bench. I'm going to start Rashford. Maybe we should go Saliba over Saka for safety, but I don't want to do that. This is such a scary week, man. No team leaks on Man City. We're like 1 minute till deadline. I don't think we get it now. I am painfully refreshing all of the where I get the leaks from. It doesn't look likely we're going to get a leak at this point, unfortunately. And we are pretty much at deadline. We've got like under a minute to go. I think depending on the lag, the timer on screen, by the way, guys, is going to be like 20 seconds slow for you. So it's going to be deadline very, very, very soon. Like, you guys need to go on the FPL app, make sure you're satisfied with what you've got. If you're triple captaining, make sure it's active. If you're bench boosting, make sure it's active. Put your bench in the right order. Make sure you got the right players captain. I'm locked in. I think, this is the scariest week. This is the scariest game week, man. This is the scariest game week. Oh. I'm gonna cry. Oh, I hate this. Okay. It's the joy and pain of FPL is all in one moment. We're gonna log in, guys. The time has passed. Wow. Wow. Oh. And now begins the 15-minute wait to find out the team leaks. Well, the actual team, the team sheets, should I say. How are you guys feeling? How are we feeling? I'm going to end the poll, by the way, guys, just to let you know what the poll results were. Isaac, 92%. Jacob, it's ended on 91%. Isaac, 91%. Murphy, 3%. Mateta, 2%. Other 1%. If Savinho is benched, I'm crying for real. I can't see it. I can't see Savinho benched. I can see Foden potentially starting. But Savinho benching is not something I think is very likely at all. Right. New poll. The poll is, how are you feeling ahead of game week 32? Confident, average, a little scared, absolutely terrified. So let me know in the chat, guys, how you are feeling. So far, most people are feeling confident. That's not me. That's not me. Why Elanga over Saka? Because I think if Elanga starts, he starts. If he doesn't, he doesn't. I don't think he's a bench guy, a bench appearance, or, an early sub. I think he's either fit or he's not fit. Wow, I can't believe how confident so many of you guys are. But it seems to be a little scared. A little scared seems to be where most people's heads are at. Just a little scared. That's fair enough. Music Kiwi says FPL is not good for my mental health. Nah, well, honestly, mine either. And it's my job. But you know what? Even when my rank is doing bad, at least I can get some satisfaction when I see you guys doing well. Because it means that we're doing a good job. And we do, even when my weeks are looking terrible. I see some of you guys getting really good scores, and I think, you know what? Maybe we've been able to help you guys or influence that a little bit. And if that's the case, I kind of see your teams as my team. Whoever is the highest ranked person who regularly watches FPL Mate videos, I consider that my rank. Who's got the highest rank in the chat right now? Oliver, don't worry about it, mate. Don't worry about my rank. Who's got the... You just need to start listening to yourself. It's frustrating, man. Because there's so many like 50-50 decisions that I feel like I've had the worst luck this season. I know everyone says that when they have a bad season. Oh, I feel like I've had such bad luck this week. Honestly, it feels so consistent this season, the bad luck. Because it's always the 50-50 decisions. Always it's like, right, should I sell wood? Or should I sell I don't know who else it was. Was it Jackson maybe? I was thinking about selling. Should I sell Wood or should I sell Jackson? And the same week, Jackson had the better fixture. Wood has the worst fixture. Wood scores a hat trick. Jackson gets injured in the first half. And it's like, that's it was like a 16-point swing right there. Then we have like, should I go for Eza or no, should I go for Livramento or Burn last week? I go for Burn. 50-50 decision, 6 points lost. Should I go for, whoever else and whoever else? Every time, man, it seems every time I'm like on the fence on the decision, every time I get it wrong. Which is why I'm looking at my team right now. And I've gone for Saka and Saliba on the bench. They are, and I was so close between Saka, Saliba, and Rashford this week. This went down to the wire for me. I was thinking about this all last night. Who am I going to play out of these three players? If this season is anything to go by, Rashford 1 point, Saka 8 points, Saliba 7 points. It happens every time I'm in this situation. I don't know how it keeps happening. But bad luck can't last forever, right? Over a long period of time, the luck balances out. You'd hope. Guess we'll find out, won't we? Anyway, some of you guys have been letting me know your ranks. Have we got anyone very, 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 very high? So we've got... Let's give a shout out to some people with nice ranks. Tero is 8,000. Edsy is 1.1 thousand. Vibav 4,000. Kabalash 1.2k. For real, Kabalash. Fair play, man. You know what, Kabalash? Actually, I'm going to claim your rank as my own. Because I know you're always sending messages and chats and stuff. And we how am I getting all of the decisions right for you, Kabalash? That's my question, but not for myself. When you ask me the questions. That's mad. Maybe if you've been ignoring me. Maybe every time Kablash, you ask me, oh, what should I do this week? I give you an answer, you do the opposite, and that's why you're doing so well. It's a mystery. It is a modern day mystery. CFC Ethan 1.8k. Crispy 700th. Crazy. Owen 8k. A lot of people in the top are 100k as well. Stretchface 8k. Jason 7k. Benji 1k. Some of you guys in the millions. Come on, we'll, if you're outside the top million, we're going to claw you back into the top 1 million by the end of the season. We got you. We got you. We're going to get you back. Axaza is number 1 in the Stick to FPL mini league. Well played. Well played. Theodore 6k. Nice work, guys. Not really, really nice work, guys. Really impressive stuff. Tan Mays 3.1k. Nice work. Honestly, you guys. You guys are doing super well. You should be really, really proud of yourselves. It sounds like, I don't know. It's It's impressive. It's impressive. Oh, Kabalash is you're admitting you're a sweat. You watch every FPL content creator apart from Let's Talk FPL. Apparently, it's because you've gone too differential. So you're saying go boring. I feel like I went boring earlier on in the season though, and things went great. I think thing is, I decided this season I would use a lot of data to make decisions, and there's been so many. That's another reason to be fair. And is that luck? I don't know, but there's been so many statistical anomalies this season. Salah with his season that he's had, Chris Wood has been a huge statistical anomaly. Forest in general, their defense as well. So using stats has been pretty crazy this season. Pretty crazy. Do you think next year you'll rely less on stats? No, because it seems like every other year, stats-based teams absolutely kill it. This season was not one of those seasons, and a lot of the analytics managers have been pretty weak this season. And people who, actually, a lot of the top managers this year, like, please don't take this the wrong way. I know people will take this the wrong way, but we've actually seen a lot of people who are like really, really high in FPL, like people like who have been in first place. There was a lady in first place who said, "Yeah, I never watch football. I just joined a league because, some people invited me. I don't really know this. I don't play FPL. I don't watch football. I just pick the players who score the most points, essentially." And they ended up first in FPL. This was only a couple of weeks ago. A few other people who have been top in FPL have said, "Yeah, don't really read stats at all. Just pick players who score points." And it's kind of like, yeah, this season that kind of has worked. Chris Wood, if you are a stats-based manager, you look at Chris Wood and you say, there is no way this can continue. There is no way this can continue. This is just a statistical anomaly. It's going to end eventually. But if you're like, you don't care about stats, you just pick the player who scores the most points. It's like, Chris Wood score point. Me pick Chris Wood. Me keep Chris Wood. And you just keep getting points. Ola Aina, he score point. More point. Yes. No brain power. Just look, who scored the most points last week? That'll do. Perfect. I'm sure he'll score more. And our stats-based managers are overthinking things whirling around in our head. There is no way this can continue. It can't possibly continue. And yet it does. And it does, and it does, and it does, and it does. But last season, it was completely different. Players who had streaks had their streaks ended very, very quickly, and their data would catch up to them. If a player was overperforming, they would very quickly start underperforming. If players had consistently good data but weren't scoring goals, it was never very long before they started scoring points again. This season, we've seen players like Palmer, incredible data, blanking over and over and over again. Jackson, incredible data, blank, 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 blank. Wood, pretty poor data, keep scoring. Forest defense, poor data, keep scoring. Well, keeping clean sheets. It's been that kind of season. But next season, who is to say it will be the same? The theory is, with a statistical based approach, is that things will balance out over a long period of time. And the one problem could be is that, you end up in a pattern where, say this season stats haven't worked, next season stats do work, but I decide not to play a stats-based game, and then you get what you get. But even between now and the end of the season, you imagine that stats will come out on top. So there you go. Do you think I should have put Saliba on instead of Guardiola? Maybe, but it's done now. Is it time to sell Salah? Nah, I don't think you sell Salah. All he needs is more penalties to stat pad. And you're in the FPL points. They all count the same, don't they? Even if he isn't playing very well. Dusty says because AI suggested transfers and all that data is nonsense. It's not true. It's not true. Plenty of AI transfer suggestions. I mean, the AI data team did crazy well last season. It beat like 99.5% of players, something crazy like that. So you could say data, the algorithm is why FPL is going terribly this year. It's not. It's just this. It's just the year in. It's the year in the football and all of the statistical anomalies that are the problem. Whether the analytics tools existed or not, it wouldn't change what happens on the football field. And if there wasn't a hub AI team, there would be a million others. There are so many models, some better than others, admittedly, but hub is probably the easiest one to use. But this year, if you watch games, players who perform good on pitch, they actually get returns as well. But no, this isn't true. Like, let's use Chris Wood as an example. He'll take one shot per game. That is not playing well. You're not looking at him playing well. You're looking at him overperforming his XG by a ridiculous number. Chris Wood has been putting up numbers this season that have been like an overperformance more than like prime Messi. Unless you're saying that Chris Wood is better than prime Messi at finishing, then you have to concede that it is a statistical anomaly and it can't continue forever. So that's all we can say on that one. All right, we oh, no Foden in the squad. Ooh, not even in the squad. Okay. Foden's not even arrived. Okay, that one. Well, there you go. We're going to get the full team now, so we'll have a look at the full team. However, it's not looking great for Foden. I mean, we did kind of predict that, right? Let's go. I feel like I may be selling Foden next week. I think you might be alone. I feel like you might not be alone. Is 11:15? Yeah, we'll get Man City, the full team news in a second. But yeah. Wood is overperforming. Salah is overperforming as well. He's like 10 goals over his XG and has got an absurd amount of penalties this season. Forest have been conceding a lot of chances, but still keeping clean sheets. Savino bench, brilliant. Oh, I love my life. I love my life. I absolutely love it. How is Savino benched this week? Doesn't make any sense. Who's even playing? McAtee? What that? Okay, that is really surprising to me. That is really, really surprising. I put Savino as like 90% chance of a start today. The fact that there's no Grealish, no Doku, no Savino. What is this team? What is going on? Oh my word. I can't believe I'm so surprised. I'm so surprised. Saving him for the FA Cup. The FA Cup isn't for another 2 weeks. How long does he need to save him for? Even Rico Lewis is playing this week. Still, Kusanov's on the bench as well. Bernardo's not even starting. Oh my word. You've just been pep rouletted. This is a prime. This is prime Pep roulette, isn't it? This is prime Pep roulette, where you think you see and understand everything perfectly, and then suddenly you get hit with the most random lineup. Utterly bizarre. But is this good for Crystal Palace attack? Or maybe defense? I feel like this could help. Crystal Palace a little bit, because this is not a good lineup compared to what they have. Pep watches your channel. He's grinning somewhere. Yeah, maybe. Well, guys, I told you my luck is in the bin this season. There you go. Savinho benching is utterly bizarre. Utterly bizarre. And yeah, story of the season. Like last week I kind of understood. This week I cannot think of a single reason. Other than maybe tactically Man City want to play super narrow. Because that worked so well last week. I mean, what is going on? I hope that Man City get battered today. I hope Crystal Palace put them to the sword. I want a Mateta hat-trick. Sarr can also have a hat-trick. Munoz gets all 6 assists. 6-0. Now Savinho will play both in the double because he was rested according to all content creators. That's what the logic says, but how well is the logic doing so far? It's like picking logic on a roulette board, it seems. Logic is out of the window. Out of the window. Crazy. I don't even know what to think anymore. Savio was a doubt before the game? Was he? I didn't see a single thing about Savinho having any kind of injury. I mean, but if that's true, then I guess good. That means he probably stays on the bench. Man, I could do with some bench luck. I really, really could. Don't think I'll get it. Bro, I hope they keep a clean sheet. I have Gvardiol. Wow, I disagree. I hope Crystal Palace wins 6-0. Sarr and Mateta with all of the attacking returns. And Munoz with assists. That's what I need. That's what I need. Oh, well. Well, there you go. Now Saka Halls, watch this space. I have no doubt, Mark. I have absolutely no doubt. Right. We are going to leave things there. Oh, he wasn't a doubt. Okay, so just waffling. Just waffling. Right. Yeah, thank you guys for... Actually, I kind of want Marmouche to do something. Maybe Marmouche can score. But I still want them to be battered. A City battering would make me very happy to punish Pep for his discrepancies. Right. Thank you guys for joining me for today's deadline stream. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll do another stream tomorrow. Well, we will all reflect on all of the pain. And the pain is coming, by the way, guys. Prepare for the pain. It's on its way. We will, yeah, see what happens. I'll see you guys tomorrow evening. That'll be after the Newcastle Man United game. So will be a lot of triple captainers there. There'll be a lot of people happy and unhappy with their FPL scores, I imagine, even fresh from that Newcastle game. So yeah, come join me then. But aside from that, thank you guys so much for watching once again. And leave a like if you want, subscribe, and enjoy the football. Have fun, guys. You won't. FPL is pain. Pain is FPL. Enjoy the pain. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.